Dude, this is worse than Child Tracker.
It's okay, boys. Just act as if we weren't here.
Right, do what you normally would do.
Is South Park more than just potty humor? This question might make you pause. Many dismiss the show as crude entertainment, but there's a surprising depth beneath the surface. From its humble beginnings, South Park has consistently pushed boundaries and challenged societal norms. Its unique blend of satire and irreverence has tackled complex issues in ways that traditional media often can't. But how did a cartoon about foul-mouthed fourth graders become a cultural touchstone? And what hidden influences has it had on the television landscape? Join us as we uncover how this controversial show became a secret force in reshaping the entire TV landscape, revealing a story of innovation, courage, and unexpected sophistication. In August 1997, a crudely animated short called The Spirit of Christmas began circulating on VHS tapes among Hollywood insiders. The video featured foul-mouthed elementary school kids in a small Colorado town fighting over whether Jesus or Santa was the true meaning of Christmas. It was shocking, irreverent, and undeniably funny. This bizarre little cartoon would soon become the cultural juggernaut we now know as South Park. The show's origins trace back to the early 90s when Trey Parker and Matt Stone met at the University of Colorado. Their shared love for irreverent humor and disdain for authority became central to South Park's identity. Using cut paper stop motion techniques, they created The Spirit of Christmas, giving the show its distinctive look. This method allowed for rapid production, crucial for commenting on current events quickly. South Park's 1997 debut on Comedy Central divided critics but captivated audiences. While some dismissed it as vulgar, others recognized its satirical potential. The show's premiere drew Comedy Central's highest ratings to date, sparking immediate controversy. Parents' groups protested episodes like Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride, which tackled LGBTQ+ issues, while Weight Gain 4000 mocked American consumerism. Politicians denounced the show's crude language and adult themes, inadvertently fueling its popularity among young viewers drawn to its rebellious spirit. Unlike contemporary animated series such as The Simpsons or King of the Hill, South Park's crude animation style was intentional. It allowed Parker and Stone to produce episodes in as little as 6 days, compared to months for other shows. This rapid turnaround enabled South Park to respond to current events almost in real time, as demonstrated by Osama bin Laden Has Farty Pants, which aired just 2 months after 9/11. The show's willingness to satirize every aspect of American culture set it apart. Characters like Eric Cartman challenged traditional notions of protagonists, while Stan and Kyle's friendship provided a moral center. Kenny's repeated deaths pushed the boundaries of dark comedy, often sparking outrage and cementing the show's reputation for shock value. South Park's rapid-fire jokes and pop culture references rewarded attentive viewers, creating a sense of insider knowledge that fostered a dedicated fan base. The show trained a generation to engage with media more critically, laying the groundwork for more complex character development and storytelling in future seasons. As South Park continued to evolve, its characters would grow beyond their initial archetypes, reflecting the show's increasingly nuanced approach to satire and social commentary. This transformation would cement South Park's place, not just as a cartoon, but as a significant cultural force in American television. As South Park's influence grew, so did the complexity of its characters. What began as a cast of crude, foul-mouthed elementary school kids evolved into a rich tapestry of personalities that challenged traditional television archetypes. At the center of this evolution stood Eric Cartman, a character whose depth and complexity redefined animated storytelling. Cartman defied simple categorization, appearing initially as the standard fat kid archetype, but revealing startling psychological complexity. His actions ranged from petty cruelty to genuine evil, yet he remained a central figure, simultaneously protagonist and antagonist. This duality challenged audiences. Cartman's sociopathic tendencies made him easy to hate, but his vulnerabilities made him impossible to dismiss. He became a mirror, reflecting the darkest aspects of human nature, forcing viewers to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and society. The show's creators used Cartman to explore topics like racism, anti-Semitism, and political extremism. By placing these themes in a child character's mouth, South Park created unique, thought-provoking satire. Other characters also subverted expectations. Stan and Kyle grappled with complex issues beyond typical children's concerns, their friendship tested by philosophical disagreements. Kenny's frequent deaths explored class disparity and mortality. South Park's approach influenced a generation of animated shows. Series like Rick and Morty and BoJack Horseman embraced complex, morally ambiguous characters and mature themes. The line between adult and children's animation blurred, with creators realizing animated characters could vehicle sophisticated storytelling. TV critic Alan Sepinwall noted, South Park's willingness to let its characters be genuinely awful while still remaining central to the story opened doors for other shows to explore moral ambiguity in ways that weren't possible before. This shift extended to live-action television, with shows like The Sopranos and Breaking Bad featuring morally complex protagonists. While not solely responsible, South Park demonstrated audiences' readiness for characters challenging expectations and moral sensibilities. The show's rapid production allowed characters to evolve in real time, responding to cultural shifts and current events. Viewers watched these characters mature over 2 decades, their personalities deepening in organic, often surprising ways. As South Park continued pushing boundaries, it faced controversies and criticism. Some argued its approach to sensitive topics was irresponsible, while others praised its willingness to tackle difficult subjects. This tension between shock value and social commentary became a defining feature, with its complex characters serving as primary vehicles for this balancing act. The show's innovative approach to character development laid the groundwork for its unique brand of satire, allowing it to address contemporary issues with unparalleled depth and nuance. While South Park's characters pushed boundaries, the show's real revolution lay in its unprecedented approach to topical commentary. In an era when most animated series took months to produce a single episode, South Park's creators developed a method to tackle current events with astonishing speed. This rapid-fire production schedule became South Park's secret weapon. Traditional animated shows often struggled to stay relevant, but South Park could respond to world events almost in real time, transforming it into a powerful voice in cultural discourse. The episode About Last Night aired just 24 hours after Barack Obama's 2008 election victory, presenting a fully formed satirical take on the aftermath. South Park's ability to produce episodes in as little as 6 days allowed it to address topics while still fresh in public consciousness. This approach created new expectations for topical content, influencing not just animation but late-night shows and news parody programs. However, this speed came with challenges. The pressure to create coherent, funny, and culturally relevant episodes in such a short time frame was immense. Matt Stone and Trey Parker often worked around the clock to meet deadlines, pushing themselves to their limits. The rapid schedule also allowed South Park to take risks that other shows couldn't. If an episode didn't land well, they could course correct the following week. This freedom to experiment enabled them to tackle sensitive subjects that other programs might avoid. For example, Cartoon Wars addressed the controversy surrounding depictions of the Prophet Muhammad, sparking intense debate about free speech and religious sensitivity. While other shows hesitated, South Park's quick production allowed timely commentary on the issue. South Park's approach evolved over time, moving from shock value to more nuanced, multi-layered satire. As audiences became more media savvy, the show adapted, incorporating meta-commentary and challenging viewers to think critically about their beliefs. The impact of South Park's rapid-fire satire extended beyond television. Politicians and pundits began referencing episodes in debates and interviews, demonstrating the show's influence on public opinion. However, this influence came with responsibility, as critics argued that rapid production could lead to oversimplification of complex issues. South Park's approach didn't just change animation, it altered expectations for television as a whole. The show demonstrated that even with a quick turnaround, it was possible to create content that was both entertaining and intellectually engaging. This influenced a generation of creators across various media, all seeking to provide timely, relevant content. South Park's journey from controversial cartoon to cultural juggernaut faced numerous obstacles, particularly in the realm of censorship. As the show's influence grew, network executives, advocacy groups, and governments attempted to silence the irreverent voices of Stan, Kyle, Cartman, and Kenny. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, television was still navigating content regulation. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, held significant significant sway over American airwaves. South Park, with its crude humor and willingness to tackle taboo subjects, quickly became a target for controversy. Creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone engaged in constant negotiations with Comedy Central's Standards and Practices department. This tension became a central theme of the show itself. The episode It Hits the Fan in 2001 featured the word shit 162 times, pushing the limits of cable television. Comedy Central initially resisted, but eventually aired the episode with a content warning. The show's approach to religion sparked intense debate. Episodes like Trapped in the Closet, satirizing Scientology, and Cartoon Wars, addressing depictions of Muhammad, led to threats of legal action and network censorship. The Cartoon Wars two-parter in 2006 was pulled from streaming platforms, highlighting the complex relationship between creative freedom and corporate responsibility. South Park's battles with censorship extended globally. The show has been banned or heavily censored in several countries, including China, Vietnam, and parts of the Middle East. In 2019, the episode Banned in China led to a complete ban in China. Parker and Stone often responded to censorship by doubling down on controversial content or finding creative workarounds. They used the show's rapid production schedule to insert last-minute changes that network executives couldn't review. This cat-and-mouse game became part of South Park's identity. The show's meta-commentary on censorship peaked with the heavily censored 200th and 201st episodes, which addressed the Muhammad controversy. Parker and Stone incorporated the network's censorship into the narrative itself. Trey Parker once said, "We've been waiting to get canceled for 20 years. We're lucky enough to have a deal with Comedy Central, and they've been allowing us to do whatever we want for 20 years." South Park's persistent challenges to censorship expanded the range of acceptable topics and language on TV, influencing other shows and the structure of television production. The show's quick response to current events challenged traditional TV models and influenced how other programs approached topical humor and satire. As South Park evolved, it relied less on shock value and more on nuanced commentary. This shift reflected a growing sophistication in both the creators and their audience. The show's battles with censorship not only shaped its own legacy, but also contributed to broader conversations about free speech in media, demonstrating how a once dismissed cartoon became a respected voice in cultural discourse. South Park's evolution from a crude cartoon to a cultural powerhouse has reshaped television storytelling. Its impact extends beyond its runtime, influencing complex narratives in various series and redefining audience expectations for animated characters. South Park proved animation could tackle mature themes, paving the way for shows like BoJack Horseman and Rick and Morty. As we look to the future, South Park's legacy continues to inspire creators across genres. Its irreverent spirit and fearless approach to controversy remain influential. The show's enduring impact raises questions about the future of satire in an increasingly complex media landscape. South Park didn't just change television, it revolutionized how we engage with social issues through entertainment.